Hi everyone, welcome to another Nature Walks video. I've got a bit of another murder mystery for you to work out, although I don't think this one was a murder, but it does involve a dead bird. So if you're squeamish, then now is the time to stop the video and not watch it, because I am going to show you the dead bird, although it's not gruesome, so you should be okay. So basically, I'm at my home, and just outside the front door was this bird here. So I put it in this little tray just so it doesn't blow away. It's obviously not going to fly away. And the question is what is it? Well, the first thing you should definitely note is that it's a juvenile. This is a juvenile bird. And how do you know that? How do I know that straight away? Well, very often juvenile birds are very, very uncolourful. So this is quite a sort of brown-based, dullish coloration bird. So that's a bit of a giveaway that it's likely to be a juvenile bird. But also you can see it's got these sort of very young-looking feathers. See, they're very split. Sort of very fluffy feathers, and also they're sort of very mottled browns and tanned colours, which is a bit of a giveaway. But another good way, if you're happy to sort of touch the bird and pull it open, is that the wing feathers are in really good condition. Now this wouldn't be the case if this was an adult bird, because the adult birds haven't really done a molt and since last winter. And so their feathers are quite old and they'll be quite tatty from flying around and feeding these youngsters that they've been trying to raise. So it's unlikely that this bird would be an adult with such good conditioned feathers as that. But the question is, what species is it? Well, my immediate thought was it's going to be a house sparrow when I saw it on the floor from a distance, because we've got house sparrows nesting in the corners of our roofs just underneath the tiles, and they've been on a second brood, so I kind of thought, well, maybe it's going to be one of those. But when I went to look at it, it doesn't look quite right, because house sparrows don't have such thin bills. You see how thin that bill is? And I wanted to show you in a book, just to show. So obviously used books. So this is house sparrow. Can you see how thick the bill is? And then there's the R bird. You see, it just doesn't quite fit, does it? It's too thin at the base. So it can't be a house sparrow. So my other thought would be what's common. You should always go for what's common. Common is common. And the other bird that I immediately thought was dunnock. Dunnock looks about right. So dunnocks actually have a second name called hedge sparrow. So the fact that it looks a bit like a sparrow is probably not too far off. But dunnock is the hedge sparrow. And if we see here, we've got juvenile, sort of going into first winter, and it very much looks like our bird. So the right kind of bill, nice and thin, although different colour. That's probably because this one's a lot older. This one probably is only just fledged, poor beggar. But it's got all this nice brown mottled feathering. Got these nice little white marginations, which we can see on this bird here. You see them there on the edges of those feathers. And a nice streaky belly as well, which almost looks a bit like a thrush actually. It's got a bit of a thrush-like looking belly, like a song thrush. So all those right features. But if you're ever unsure, you should never just rely on one book. So I've got a second book here. I don't advocate having too many bird guide books. But if we look at that one there, and we compare that to our individual here, we can see that it's a very, very good match-up between the two. Gosh, it's fiddly on a windy day. There we go. You see those markings? Very, very alike. And on this one, the bill is much lighter. You see it's got that orange tint to it, which is what ours has got there. And it completely lacks sort of any of the features really of the adult bird too much. It doesn't look particularly like the adult bird, so you can't always just rely on that as a feature. Juveniles tend to look quite different, even though some of these other features they can't change, like the bill shape and general profile of the bird, are about right. So there you go. So it's a juvenile dunnock, and how it got there, I don't know. I mean, they probably do nest in our garden or somewhere nearby. They're not an uncommon nester. They're probably one of our most abundant birds in Britain, so definitely one that is likely to be around. And unfortunately, this bird just hasn't made it. So, but if you're ever looking to sort of try and identify, think common, what would be in your garden, and then use those features that won't change, like the bill, and any particular notable patterns, particularly sort of light patches, tend to be a good way to identify them. Alright, good luck. Hopefully you have any dead birds, but if you do, hopefully now you know how to identify them. Alright, bye.